In most of British Columbia, the big local issue is housing or accountability. Not so on the Sunshine Coast. This week we're heading to Sechelt, where a new mayor is hoping to tackle an age-old summertime problem. All of British Columbia has been dealing with hotter summers and lower snowpacks in recent years. But on the Sunshine Coast, they tend to go to stage 4 restrictions faster than anywhere else. It's not a supply problem, it's a storage one.
About 85% of the Sunshine Coast relies on the Chapman system for water.
With just one main storage facility, it's not uncommon for it to dry up by the end of summer, causing weeks where all outdoor tap water use is banned.
People don't like having to restrict their water. They want to continue to keep everything green, keep their vegetable gardens going, etc. So it's been more on people's minds over the last few years.
For years, all politicians have agreed the status quo isn't working and that the one place that's treating water right now isn't enough for the Sunshine Coast. The problem is politicians have bickered over what the right solution should be.
In the past on the Sunshine Coast, I'll put it out there, there's been some regional, I'm going to call it infighting, but it's really disagreements on what should move forward. So there hasn't been a real collaborative effort.
The mayor and 4 councillors lost their re-election bids in Sechelt, the most in BC, and every regional director either lost or retired. The new group is studying 4 long-term options.
We've got a really good regional board. We're working collaboratively up and down the coast, and we all recognize that these solutions have to be moving forward.
But Barry Janik, who led the neighboring community of Gibsons for 12 years, has a warning for any over-optimistic politician.
You can't just snap your fingers and click your heels together and water comes out of the sky and fills your reservoirs and your wells. It doesn't work like that.
He says the biggest problem will be what has scuttled water-related proposals in the past, voters not wanting to pay more money.
You need community buy-in because what we're looking at is an expensive undertaking. To provide water for the future of the Sunshine Coast is going to cost more money.
What comes next? Well, that study has to come back to the regional district and they have to decide on one of the 4 options. After that, it comes down to funding, more lobbying, and then building. It might seem like a long time, but in this part of the province, people are used to expecting delays. Justin McElroy, CBC News, Sunshine Coast.